just to caveat what you're about to watch, making a video with 2 young children is an absolute disaster. So this video is going to make no sense. I'm sure there's going to be cuts, and there'll be children, and there'll be no children, then there'll be both children, and there'll be one, and there'll be noise in the background. So
case in point.
So forgive the jankiness of the video. It's
real life.
It's real life. It's worth watching. So please stick around and watch. Hello everyone. Thanks for watching. I guess the first thing to say is this isn't our norm. We don't set up a camera in our kitchen and make videos. So forgive us if we're not very good at it. Essentially, we're doing some fundraising, and we thought we wanted to make a video because it's quite a personal reason. I think it's a really important reason, and we thought making a video is probably going to be the best way for us to explain what's going on, what we're doing, and how you guys can help. Hopefully there's a lot of people watching this who don't know who we are, so it's ways of introductions. We're the Booths. We do have a child sat down here at the moment who we are introducing them in, but I'm Dan.
I'm Lizzie, Dan's wife. We've got Charlie Booth on the floor.
Come here.
Here he is.
You say hiya.
Who's 3 and a bit. If you say hiya.
You say hiya.
You go hiya.
You're just going to mug us off. Hi. Good boy.
And this is Freddie, who is 5 months old, the newest addition.
Long story short, we're doing some fundraising, and we're trying to raise as much money as possible for the STX-BP1 Foundation. They are a foundation who are looking for a cure for STX-BP1 disorders. Now that, I know that's not going to make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but we will explain that very briefly in this video. And the reason we're doing the fundraising is Charlie was born with a rare disease, STX-BP1, a disorder. And there's lots of very exciting things going on in terms of trying to find a cure and trying to improve the quality of lives and the lives of people with STX-BP1 disorders. So that's why we're doing it. But we thought it was going to be important for us to sort of give a bit of backstory, what's going on.
Introduce ourselves, introduce Charlie.
Yeah.
Give a brief rundown of what STX-BP1 disorders are. So I guess the best place to start would be with Charlie's birth. Mm-hmm. So Charlie was born at the tail end of 2021, had a totally normal pregnancy. It was all healthy. The scans were all normal, so to speak. And on the day of his birth, we found out Charlie was breech, so we were booked in for a C-section. We were really excited. We didn't know what we were having. And then Charlie arrived, this beautiful baby boy. He was absolutely massive, 9'6", and he was just really cute and had all these gorgeous rolls. And, we were just really, really excited. Now, when we were in the recovery room, we were cuddling Charlie and we noticed some strange arm movements, which were very unusual for a newborn. And we caught him doing it maybe 2 or 3 times, and we called over the midwife. And she was amazing, and she took it really seriously, what we were saying. So she took Charlie away to examine him, and we could see from the bed that he was on, once she unwrapped him from his blanket, that his arms and legs were jerking repetitively. And he was whisked off to NICU, and from there began a month-long stay in hospital, whilst the consultants and doctors and nurses looked after Charlie and trying to figure out what was causing what we now were seizures. So Charlie endured a lot when he was in hospital. He had EEGs, MRIs, lumbar punctures, loads of tests, lots of blood tests. And finally, after a month, roughly, we got the diagnosis, which was STX-BP1 disorders.
So as we left hospital, it was pretty much the last thing they said to us, actually. The consultant said there's a 95% chance that Charlie won't walk or talk. And that's because there was so little research done about STX-BP1 disorders. I think there was 250 kids at the time who'd been written about. You want to come up? You want to come say hello? We got blame raspberries, don't we? And so because these doctors didn't know what STX-BP1 disorders were, we very much doubt you guys do either. So just as a very brief overview, STX-BP1 is a gene that we all have. So everyone has this gene. It's to do with the synapses in the brain and how it sort of communicates. And Charlie and anyone else with an STX-BP1 disorder has a mutation in that gene, essentially. It's nothing that anyone did. No one did anything wrong. It's technically called de novo, which means it's just one of those things that happen, right? It just happens, mate.
You can sit here.
Oh, you're gonna sit in between us, mate. Whoa, what a big boy. So it's just one of those things that happen. It happens to people, and it happened to Charlie. Now, it's called STX-BP1 disorders, the name of the gene, because the symptoms that people experience are so vast. There's not really like a name or a syndrome that they can give it, because there's not really any consistency in terms of symptoms that people experience. You're right, mate. So Charlie experienced seizures when he was born. He had epilepsy, and I think that looking at the research, that's how a lot of people figure out that there's something going on. But the symptoms generally are global. Do you want to go down on the floor again? Are generally global developmental delay, epilepsy, intellectual disabilities, behavioral issues, autism. There are a lot of non-verbal kids. A lot of kids struggle with the physicality, not being able to walk. But it's a real spectrum of ability and challenges. And yeah, so Charlie right now isn't walking, he isn't talking, but he's doing really, really well. He's getting closer every day. And the future is uncertain for us, but we sort of take a bit of solace that the future's uncertain for everyone, isn't it, I guess. That's my computer, Charlie.
And so for children like Charlie with STX-BP1 disorders, there's a wide range of people involved in Charlie's day-to-day life. Obviously, me and Dan do absolutely everything we can for him. We have amazing families who, support us tremendously. But also, Charlie has been under / is under, neonatologist, paediatrician, physiotherapist, speech and language therapists, geneticists, neurologists. So we've been exposed to a crazy world, but it's not a world that's alien to other families with STX-BP1.
But why now? So why are we fundraising now? Well, we're fundraising now because there's lots of really exciting things going on in the world of STX-BP1 disorder research. So there's some, even though it's an ultra rare disease, I think it's there's. That was Charlie burping, by the way. If anyone else machines, hold on, mate. There's loads of research going on, and there's some really amazing research going on over in America at the moment, where they're very likely to go into clinical trial this year to utilize gene therapy to essentially fix the gene that's got the mutation. Now, like Liz said, we're by no means scientists or geneticists. So a lot of the details we're going to share in another video where we can sort of just rip things off the internet and tell you a little bit more specifically, but it'll be a little drier. So we'll do that in a later video. But with these clinical trials hopefully going on this year, they need to be able to prove the efficacy of it. Has it worked? Has it not? Both outcomes are really positive, by the way. If the clinical trials work and it does fix this gene, obviously amazing. And if it doesn't, that's also really positive, because the researchers know they need to sort of go down another path, another avenue. But to be able to identify if it's worked or not, they need to have these things called biomarkers, which they're pretty certain there are some biomarkers within people who have got STX-BP1 mutations And so there's a difference in the brain, a difference in the blood, a difference within the body. And the point is they discover and find what those differences are. They're like palpable, provable differences. So if the gene therapy works, those biomarkers will no longer be there, right? Is my general understanding. And what's really amazing is the STXBP1 Foundation, which is a completely voluntary-led, parent-led organization full of amazing people. They're really sort of spearheading these sort of clinical trials. And what's really exciting is every penny we raise is going to go towards finding these biomarkers, making sure that all this hard work, time, effort, blood, sweat and tears that's gone into trying to get these clinical trials up and running all of the money we raise will go to proving whether they are efficient, if they work or not. And so I think that's really amazing. It's a really exciting opportunity. It's like science fiction where the gene therapy can cure diseases, right? And we're right at the forefront of it. But more than anything, anyone who knows us, anyone who knows Charlie, your money can, potentially affect Charlie's life, and kids who've got STXBP1 around the world, adults who have got it, and just really, really make a difference and improve the quality of life and the standard of life. Bye, Freddie. So that's why now, and that's why it's important that we raise as much money as we possibly can, we raise as much awareness as we possibly can, but importantly, we do it now, and we do it quickly, and we make as much noise as we possibly can. There's a good amount of buzz in America, but just nothing in the UK, from what I can tell. And we just need to, if we can, do as much as we can, which is what we've got in store.
Yeah. So, as Dan said, we really want to jump on this and try and raise as much money as possible. So Dan had the brilliant but crazy idea to do something really big to try and get everyone's attention. So Dan's plan, all being well, and he's already in training, he's doing amazing, but he is going to, yes he is, he's going to attempt to run 5 marathons in 5 days to raise £5,000. It's a bit mental, but I absolutely believe he can achieve it. He's a pretty good runner anyway. He's already begun his training, and he's just smashing it. But the idea being is that obviously Dan's doing the big thing, it's the Everest, so to speak, but we are inviting other people to join in any way that they can, or if they want to, So, for example, I will be running on some days, believe it or not. I have began running, been doing some 5Ks here and there, with the goal being that I join him for part of his runs. He's also got some amazing friends who've already signed up to do 1 marathon with him on different days. He actually met a man in Wales just in the pub the other day who was an amazing runner. Dan told him our story. He's actually signed up the London Marathon and is now doing it for STXBP1.
Oh, no.
I know. But the idea being you can do as much or as little as you would like to do. So you could walk 1K, you could walk 10K, you could run 5K. You don't have to do it with Dan, with us. You could do it wherever you are in the world. But we really just want to encourage as many people to join in. And if you can't join in for whatever reason, absolutely no pressure. What is really important is that you donate if you can. We appreciate there's a cost of living crisis, but if you can donate just a couple of pounds, it really will make a massive difference to these families with children and adults who have STXBP1 disorders. So this is really the point of the video, to introduce Dan's challenge and potentially your challenge if you want to join in, I suppose. Do you want to add anything to that, really?
Yeah, so that's essentially what this whole video is about. We obviously want to raise as much as possible. What do we want from you? We want donations. It's unfortunately, it's the donations are what are gonna really make a difference in terms of proving these biomarkers. But like Lizzie said, the main thing we want is just support. So if that's sharing this video, sharing the Just Giving page on socials, on WhatsApp groups, to as many people as you know. If you know a proper loaded CEO, send it to them and they can share with their company, or they can, you know, if they're making loads of money, they can donate, right? But more than that, like Liz said, over the past sort of 6 weeks I've been doing my training so far, it's really smacked me in the face how difficult this is going to be. So I would love it for as many people to take part, help me as possible. Yeah, like Liz said, I've got amazing friends and family who are already going to help. As short distance, as many as you want. If you like 1K, 2K, 3K, if you want to walk a bit with me, I'm not doing these marathons for time. I'm going to be just trying to finish them, which is another big thing as well. Whether or not I can finish 5, I don't really know. I'm going to try my absolute best, and I think, but that's the sort of the point. The point is people with STXBP want to have challenges every single day of their life, and they have to, you know, put up with hard things every day, don't you, mate? So I want to, it felt only right that we do something difficult and hard. Okay. So yeah, so support, piggybacks, everything is very much welcome. And ultimately, stand up. So ultimately, you know, it's the people with STXBP1 disorders that we're doing it for. Ultimately, this little man here, every single step we make, just sounding like what's that? Who sang that? Every step you take, Sting, isn't it? It isn't Sting. But every step we take, every mile we've run, every pound we raise, can make such a palpable, massive difference to people living with STXBP1 disorders. And that's what we want. Do you want to go down? You can say bye-bye then. You say bye-bye. Good boy. So look, we won't take up any more of your time. Thank you for watching. If you've got this far, amazing. Please donate. Please support us.
Please follow our social media, because we will keep you updated with how the training's going.
Yeah.
As Dan said, we'll share more information about what STXBP1 is. Also just kind of like day in the life stuff. A bit of an insight into what having a rare disorder entails, because that's a whole different kettle of fish, but one that we're very happy to be on along the ride with Charlie. And yeah, we thank you in advance.